The movie is set in a post-apocalyptic future in which the atmosphere of Earth has turned exceedingly dangerous. A power plant designed to extract geothermal energy from distant planets was launched into space by scientists who had anticipated it in advance. People soon began asphyxiating in the streets and passing away while they slept. An unforeseen alteration in the Earth's atmosphere caused the blood in their veins to become black. Many referred to it as Earth's desperate attempt to expel mankind in order to survive. After that, the last of the people left the planet in 100 spacecraft. In a mission known as the Exodus mission, they quickly arrived at a space station. The station is situated above Io, Jupiter's volcanic moon, much like a lifeboat. Sam Walden is among the few humans who still live on Earth, though, as not everyone was ready to give up. At a high altitude where the air is still breathable for the time being, she lives alone. Right now, Sam is working to produce bees that can endure in the atmosphere. Additionally, she is carrying on her father, Dr. Harry Walden's studies. Sam had learned from him that survival is the basic tenet of nature. Our souls and minds are wired to pursue life no matter what. Sam wants to aid in the adaptation of bees and other pollinators as plant life has rapidly adapted to withstand the toxicity of ammonia. In the long run, this could purify the air by pollinating plants that produce oxygen. Not knowing that they are already on the most advanced spacecraft, Sam and Dr. Walden think that humanity is traveling to the stars in quest of salvation. They think that eventually, humanity will adjust and flourish once more on Earth. Elon, Sam's boyfriend, resides on the Io station in the meantime. They communicate with each other via email on a regular basis. Elon wants Sam to come live with her on the station, but Sam is certain that the Earth is being regenerated and not dying. The first new planet expedition, which looks for humanity's next home, has been formally announced by the Space Council, Elon informs Sam in an email one day. They have selected Proxima Centauri b, an exoplanet that is 10 years away from Earth and is the exact duplicate of our world. Every buddy of Elon's has applied for the job. He goes on to say that the Exodus program is seriously affected by the news of the New World expedition. Before Sam could complete reading the email, her computer breaks down, so she rides her ATV bike to an ancient, deserted library. As she checks a book on mythology there, a huge storm unexpectedly moves in near the structure. She had to run back to her shelter as a result of this. Sam then fixes her PC and carries on reading Elon's email. She discovers that everything is altered by the Council's choice to declare the first mission to explore the new globe. All crew members, energy, and other critical supplies have been instantly transferred to the New World expeditions. In 4 days, the last of the Exodus shuttles on Earth will be launched as well. Elon pushes Sam to leave Earth with her father, saying that this is her final opportunity. When Sam checks her bees the following day, she discovers that the toxic storm has killed every single one of them. On her greenhouse farm, it has also caused havoc. She goes back to her bed in despair and writes Elon a letter thereafter. Sam says that she has lost all of her genetic progress and shares information about the storm and the bees. Sam acknowledges that she is currently on the verge of losing it. She also acknowledges that despite her desire to leave Earth, the ATV's oxygen-carrying capacity prevents her from arriving at the launch location in time. A little while later, Micah, an unidentified man, lands on a helium balloon close to the base. Soon after, he meets Sam and declares his intention to travel to the launch site and depart Earth. He wants to talk to Dr. Harry Walden first, though. Sam brings him water that she has filtered with charcoal and sand. She reassures Micah that it is safe to drink the murky water, despite his first reluctance. Subsequently, she presents herself as Dr. Walden's assistant, concealing her true identity as his daughter. Sam says that Dr. Walden is somewhere out in the field doing research when Micah begs to meet him. When Micah wants to be carried there, Sam responds that she can't, as she doesn't know where he is precisely. Micah chooses to wait for the scientist as a result, and Sam prepares some lunch for him. The fresh veggies she grew in her greenhouse are given to him. Sam queries whether any animals remain in the huge ocean during lunch. She has always wanted to visit there and feel the crisp air. Micah, however, retorts that nothing remains on Earth. The bacteria are also going extinct, along with all the creatures. Sam shows him her lab, where she does her studies, in the following scenario. She also discusses her buddy Elon, who is presently engaged in the trip to Alpha Centauri using solar cells. Subsequently, she plays Dr. Walden's audio recording on the radio for those who are still alive. Micah is taken aback by this since he thought he was listening to Dr. Walden in person. Sam replies that Dr. Walden will likely return tomorrow and that it is regular procedure for him to be out in the field. During their conversation the following day, Sam suddenly admits that Elon is actually her boyfriend and not her friend. Micah responds that there's nothing wrong with loving someone who lives millions of kilometers away from you when she asks whether he thinks it's strange. Then he talks candidly about himself, saying that he had originally intended to become a teacher, but had ended himself in a hot air balloon. Sam eventually admits that she is Harry Walden's daughter after being moved by his candor. She then brings him to the greenhouse, where she reveals to him how, in the absence of her bees, she manually pollinates her plants. 3 sister plants belong to Sam: beans, squash, and corn. Squash stretches the soil, and corn gives beans something to climb on. In exchange, the beans supply the nitrogen. This seems boring to Micah, so he switches the topic and inquires about her tattoos. It's the Euler's equation and the Nowak's evolvability equation, as Sam shows. She gives him an explanation of the latter equation, explaining that the symbols on the left stand for every potential string of molecules and the symbols on the right stand for fitness ratings and selection pressures. In summary, molecules that are susceptible to forces of selection and mutation are all that are required for life to arise. Self-replication arises if the prerequisites are satisfied. Sam says she made the tattoos on her rib cage to boost her immunity when Micah inquires about them. She also plays video footage of a pig raised in Dr. Walden's laboratory for him. Even if it perished from exposure to the poisonous air, it was still a fantastic accomplishment. Micah discovers Dr. Walden and his wife June's former bedroom the following day. When he inquires about her mother, Sam replies that June became ill and died. When Micah learns this, he accuses Dr. Walden of keeping them on this poisonous planet, which is what killed June. Then, out of nowhere, he dashes to her lab and smashes through Dr. Walden's office door. As it turns out, the room is unkempt and appears to have been unoccupied for a very long time. At this point, we find out that Dr. Walden has passed away. After that, there is a flashback in the film. Dr. Walden believes the planet cannot be saved after spending years conducting studies on post-apocalyptic Earth, losing his wife and so on. Sam is urged by him to go to Io, but she is steadfast in her devotion to him. Dr. Walden informs her that she will eventually have to go because she will be left alone when he dies from health issues. Returning to the present, Sam shows Micah the location of her parents' grave. Micah says he's taking Sam to the space shuttle with him after paying his respects to the deceased. She grudgingly accepts after he makes it apparent that he won't accept no. Later, Sam writes to her lover to say that they will soon be reunited and that she has made the decision to permanently leave Earth. She discovers a queen bee that has been born in her hive and is resistant to the poisonous air as she packs her belongings. Sam is overjoyed by this, but it doesn't alter anything because she still intends to permanently leave Earth. The inability to depart immediately is the sole issue. To get their hot air balloon to where they're going, the two must wait for good winds. Sam soon gets a response from her boyfriend in which he says how happy he is that she's going to be leaving the planet. However, he later admits that he has committed to the 10-year New World expedition. This implies that they will be apart for an extremely long time. Sam is devastated by the news and starts crying. While cooking for her and telling her about his time on the pre-apocalyptic Earth, Michael notices that she is in heartbreak. He has pleasant memories of his time spent in the suburbs and his trips into the city with his pals. Micah is more impatient with the passing of time as he waits for good winds. In the meantime, Sam begins to feel alone. As her partner has moved further away, she begins to grow more intimate with Micah, and they eventually share a kiss. He finds out when he wakes up the following morning that the shuttle launch has been rescheduled for a location that is farther away than planned. Micah determines he doesn't have enough fuel for the journey after checking his helium reserve. He complains that he is cursed and becomes irritated. When Sam asks what he means, Micah says he saw 12 people, including his wife, perish from famine. Because he kept the food from them out of selfishness, he was the main cause of it. But Micah swears he won't let anything bad ever happen to Sam. Although she finds his words moving, they currently have more pressing issues to attend to. Sam admits that she is aware of the location of helium. This excites Micah, and the two go out to visit the city where the poisonous air has descended. Fortunately, they locate the gasoline and utilize it to top out their helium tanks. Micah gets the balloon ready to go the following day, but Sam is adamant about going to an art museum first. After first resisting, he eventually gives in and asks her to come back in an hour. Sadly, Micah realizes after a short while that she has no desire to leave Earth at all. He becomes frightened by this and chases after her right away while carrying extra oxygen tanks. When Micah dashes to the museum, he discovers her ogling an old picture. Sam is reassured by him that she tried her best and her father would be pleased with her. She then begs him to go alone when he asks her to accompany him. Sam's oxygen supply is about to run out, as indicated by the beeping sound on her alarm. She quickly accepts Micah's extra tank, but rather than replacing it, she removes her oxygen mask. The scene goes black as Sam inhales the noxious air. The film then jumps ahead to the future, where we find out that Micah was the only passenger on the spacecraft. Sam, on the other hand, made the choice to remain behind after surviving. The altered surroundings no longer poison her, just like they did for the new queen bee in her colony. She and the little child are shown standing on a beach at the end of the film. It turns out that her primary objective in her sexual encounter with Micah was to proliferate the planet.